Now we're going to demonstrate something called cross-site scripting, or XSS, and it does pretty much exactly what it sounds like it does. It allows you to execute some code, a script, on a website to create some behavior that the website author didn't intend. So first we're going to go out to a mirror of a site. An attacker, for example, could make a mirror of a legitimate website that had some buggy features in it, or perhaps the original site, which is a little more common, had some bugginess in it as well, which can be used by an attacker to sort of get behavior out of that site that the end user would assume is legitimate. So here we have a copy of Ona and Scott's The Internationalist book site. And we're going to go to the contact form here. And you'll see here we have a form that has name, email, and then room for a message. So if we put in some information here, and then a message, the form actually outputs that message to us directly in the HTML. So the form is doing two things here that are incorrect. The first one, which we're about to show, is that it's not sanitizing the data that's in this message field here. The second thing that's not good is that it's not sanitizing, so checking that data for special characters, the data before it outputs it right in the HTML. That allows us to do some interesting things. So, for example, I'm putting a script tag in here that just creates a pop-up that says check this out. Now you'll see here it says check this out here, but also you can see in the URL the script that I just popped into that input field. Because this is in the get string in the URL, which is a very sloppy way to do things, but more common than you might think, we can now use this as a link in another HTML page, which we could host anywhere on the internet or send via email and so on. So let's do that. Here we have some examples. This kind of cross-site scripting is called reflective XSS. And if I click this link, you'll see it brings up the same pop-up that says check this out. And you can see in the URL bar, it's the same URL. Now, what if I wanted to do something like advertise for myself? I might advertise for my mailing list. And now someone who goes to that URL may see the legitimate site and think that for whatever reason, Ona and Scott want to advertise my mailing list, or that it's their mailing list, and so on. Now, you can do things that are a little more malicious. You can, for example, redirect to another site. So this is a scary site, and you can just scare someone, or if you were anonymous, you might do something else that's a little more mischievous. Now you can also use this kind of feature to advertise for yourself directly. You will be redirected to my awesome website, tells you exactly how long that redirect is going to take, and then it brings you out to these awesome videos that we're making. That kind of thing could be used to make it look like the website was advertising for you. But it also could be used to deliver a payload, something malicious like a JavaScript. It could also go to another mirror. In this way, you could daisy chain sites together. And that mirror of that site could look like something else that's legitimate, and in the background it's spying on you in one way or another. Now let's have a little bit more fun here. There are some other cool things we can do because this form just happens to be that sloppy. We'll go back out to the site. And let's say we just want to insert an image from the internet. Now we can do something more interesting, and we can insert our own input field. So now someone who goes to this contact form using the URL in the address bar here, which contains our little snippet, they would actually get this extra input form, and they can get a totally, completely different form and volunteer information they never would have volunteered. Combining this with other types of attacks, let's say, for example, I am watching inputs using a man-in-the-middle attack, then I can get information out of the user that they wouldn't have volunteered otherwise. Perhaps I want to do something that's, again, a little spammy. I'm going to insert my easy button into the site.
That was easy.
And that could have been a malicious file instead of a sound file, of course. Or perhaps I just want to show my awesome YouTube performance. So that's cross-site scripting.